Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when pain feels like an interruption, like a storm that came without warning, a weight you never asked to carry. But what if I told you that your pain is not a prison, it's a passage? What if the very thing you are trying to escape is the very thing that is shaping you, preparing you, strengthening you, building you into someone you couldn't become without going through what you went through? Pain has a language. It speaks in whispers, in tears, in sleepless nights, in silent battles. It tells you that something inside you is shifting, stretching, awakening. You don't grow on the mountaintop. You grow in the valley, in the moments when you feel lost, overlooked, misunderstood, or broken. That's where your power begins to emerge. You see, enough. Greatness is never born in comfort. Diamonds don't form without pressure. Gold isn't purified without fire. And you, yes, you cannot step into the fullness of who you are meant to be without walking through seasons that test you, stretch you, force you to discover strength you didn't know you had. The pain you're experiencing is not out there to destroy you. It's there to reveal you. It is there to uncover the depth of your resilience, the magnitude of your courage, and the brilliance of your inner power. The world may only see your tears. Heaven sees your transformation. Every challenge you faced, every heartbreak, every disappointment, every betrayal has been teaching you something. Not because you deserve pain, but because you deserve power. And sometimes the only way to awaken power is through a season of breaking. You didn't survive by accident. You didn't endure by coincidence. Something inside you refused to give up. Something inside you pushed you forward. Something inside you kept you breathing, kept you believing, kept you fighting. That something is your power. And now your pain is not just a memory, it is a seed that is about to produce wisdom, authority, and strength that you could never acquire in ease or comfort. Don't despise what broke you, because what broke you also built you. Your greatest power is not found in the moments when everything made sense. It's found in the moments when you didn't know how you would make it, but you did. When you didn't know how you would stand again, but you did. When you didn't know where strength would come from, but something in you rose. Your pain is hiding your power, but not for long. The version of you emerging from this season is stronger, wiser, deeper, more powerful, and more prepared than you have ever been. You are not coming out empty. You are coming out elevated, empowered, transformed. Pain is one of the greatest teachers life will ever give you. Yet it's often the teacher we run from the most. We treat pain as if it is meant to arrest us, to hold us hostage, keep us stuck in the moment where it first appeared. But pain was never meant to be a prison. It was never designed to confine you, trap you, convince you that life has ended in the place where you were wounded. Pain is a passage, a movement, a doorway. It is something you are meant to go through, not something you are meant to die in. There is a difference between a prison and a passage. A prison keeps you where you are. Passage leads you to where you are destined to go. A prison is built with walls. A passage is built with openings. A prison locks you in. Passage invites you forward. Yet when pain shows up, most people misinterpret it. They settle into it as if it is the final chapter of their story. Get their heartbreak, their disappointment, their betrayal, their loss, and they assume, this is it. This is where my life ends. But pain is never an ending. Pain is the beginning of something new. Pain comes to push you, not to punish you. It comes to prepare you, not to paralyze you. It comes to cleanse you, not to confine you. Pain shows up because there are parts of you that cannot be awakened, strengthened, or elevated until something shakes your life and forces growth to happen. Nobody grows without pressure. Nobody evolves without discomfort. Nobody discovers their true capacity until something in life demands more from them than they think they have. Life has a way of using pain as a tool. Pain is like fire that burns, but it also purifies. It strips away what is weak, shallow, temporary, or unnecessary, revealing what is strong, deep, and essential. Pain will make you question everything you thought you understood about your journey, but in the questioning, it will also lead you to answers you never would have discovered without it. Pain doesn't come to bury you. It comes to birth you. There are moments when the pain feels so heavy that you genuinely believe you won't survive it. You lie awake at night, replaying what happened, wondering how things changed so quickly, mourning what you lost, struggling to breathe because the weight is so intense. But even in those moments, pain is still a passage, even when the tears won't stop, even when the confusion clouds every thought, even when your heart feels like it's in pieces. Pain is still leading you somewhere, even when you can't see the destination, even when you don't understand the purpose. Pain is still directing you forward. Sometimes the greatest problem is not the pain itself, but how you perceive it. When you believe pain is a prison, you stop moving. You stop dreaming. You stop believing that healing is possible. You let the moment define your identity. You let the wound decide your future. But the moment you understand that pain is a passage, everything shifts. You no longer say, this is where my life ends. You begin to say, this is where my transformation begins. Passages are temporary. No one is meant to stay in a hallway forever. You don't take up residence in a corridor. You walk through it. You move forward. You keep going. That's what pain is supposed to do. Move you into a different version of yourself, a wiser version, a stronger version, a deeper version. Pain is not meant to hold you where you are. It is meant to deliver you to where you belong. Pain teaches you resilience because you learn that you can survive what you never imagined having to face. Pain teaches you empathy because once you've walked through your own valley, your heart understands the struggles of others more deeply. Pain teaches you patience because healing takes time and transformation doesn't happen overnight. Pain teaches you faith because there are some seasons when the only thing holding you together is the belief that things will get better, even when nothing around you has changed yet. Pain is a passage because it forces you into a process. Processes are uncomfortable. They stretch you, confront you, challenge you. But they also prepare you. You are becoming someone through what you are experiencing. You are shedding old versions of yourself that can't go with you into your next chapter. You are releasing habits, relationships, mindsets, and patterns that were weighing you down without you even realizing it. Pain makes sure you don't carry unnecessary baggage into your destiny. You may not see it right now, but pain is escorting you into greater clarity. It's showing you what matters, what doesn't, who's real, who's not, what's worth fighting for, and what's worth letting go. Pain doesn't only change your circumstances, it changes you. And sometimes you must be changed before your life can change. Every breakthrough has a breaking point. Every elevation has a stretching point. Every new version of you requires the end of an old version. Pain is simply the signal that something inside you is shifting. Something is being rewired, rebuilt, restored. You are transitioning, and transitions are never comfortable, but transitions are always necessary. Think about a seed. When it is buried in the soil, it looks like death, but it isn't dying. It's transforming. It is breaking open so it can grow roots, so it can rise above the ground, so it can become what it was created to be. The breaking was not its end, it was its beginning. The dirt was not its burial, it was its environment for growth. Your pain is the same. What feels like the end is the beginning. What feels like loss is the setup for gain. What feels like destruction is the foundation for reconstruction. Pain does not come to lock you inside your wounds. It comes to lead you out of who you were into who you're meant to become. You are not meant to stay in the moment that hurts you. You are meant to walk through it. You are meant to rise above it. You are meant to become stronger because of it. Pain is only a prison if you stop moving. But if you keep walking, if you keep walking, if you keep believing, keep fighting, keep breathing, pain becomes a passage that will lead you into a version of yourself you never knew existed. And when you look back later, you won't just remember the pain. You'll remember the strength you discovered, the wisdom you gained, the courage you developed, power that was born in the middle of your struggle. You will realize that pain didn't imprison you. It transformed you. It led you. It elevated you. We love the mountaintop. We crave the view, the victory, the clarity, the sense of arrival. The mountaintop feels like success, like answers, like breakthrough. It feels like the place where everything makes sense, where the wind blows gently, and where the sunlight rests peacefully on your shoulders. But life does not shape you on the mountaintop. Life shapes you in the valley. Growth happens in the valley. The valley is the place we rarely choose. Yet it is where we often find ourselves. It is the place of shadows, the place of confusion, the place where prayers feel unanswered and progress feels invisible. It is the place where you look around and nothing seems to match what you envisioned. But the valley is not a punishment, it is a process. It is the training ground, the proving ground, the molding ground, where the deepest parts of you are strengthened and refined. People celebrate you when you reach the top, but they don't see the battles you fought in the low places. They don't see the nights you cried, the days you questioned everything, the moments you felt alone, or the inner wars you carried while still trying to smile. They don't see the seeds planted in the dark soil of your valley season. But every seed grows downward before it grows upward. What looks like darkness is actually development. In the valley, you learn things that the mountaintop can never teach you. On the mountaintop, you see far, you don't grow deep. In the valley, depth is formed, roots are strengthened, foundations are built. You discover who you really are, not when everything is going right, but when nothing seems to be going the way you imagined. The valley has a way of stripping away illusions and forcing authenticity. It reveals what is real, what is essential, and what is merely temporary. Growth happens in the valley because the valley forces you to confront yourself. You face your fears, your insecurities, your doubts, and your hidden wounds. You face the truth about your strength and the truth about your weaknesses. The valley doesn't let you hide behind titles, possessions, or applause. It doesn't allow you to survive on surface level faith, shallow confidence, or borrowed courage. In the valley, you must dig deep. You learn resilience in the valley because quitting feels easy, but endurance is necessary. You discover determination because the climb back up must start from a low place. You learn patience because nothing grows overnight. And you learn humility because the valley reminds you that life is not always about speed, but about strength, consistency, and character. There are lessons in the valley that are inconvenient, uncomfortable, and even painful, but they are necessary. You learn to depend on things you once took for granted. You learn to appreciate small victories. You learn how to keep going when the path is unclear. You learn how to hold on to hope when circumstances tell you to let go. You learn how to rebuild when something has been torn apart. You learn how to rise even when you're standing in a low place. The valley is the environment where inner power is born. It's where wisdom matures, where vision sharpens, where discipline strengthens. It's where you stop trying to control everything and start learning how to surrender, how to trust, how to walk step by step instead of knowing the entire journey at once. The valley is where you learn that strength is not loud. Sometimes strength is silent, steady, and hidden beneath the surface. Think of every great story, every great transformation, every great triumph. None of them began on a mountaintop. They began in moments of pressure, struggle, uncertainty, or pain. The heroes of life do not grow in comfort, they grow in challenge. Challenges pull something out of you that you didn't know was there. They reveal courage you never realized you carried. They show you that even in darkness, you can still create light. Growth happens in your valley seasons because valleys demand that you become someone you were not before. The valley stretches you. It challenges your faith, your discipline, your patience, and your resilience. And in that stretching, something inside you expands. Something inside you strengthens. Something inside you awakens. The valley also teaches you compassion. When you've been low, you understand what others feel when they are low. You become more patient with people's pain, more gentle with their struggles, more aware of their silent battles. You begin to see that everyone is carrying something. And that understanding, that empathy, is part of your growth. Valley shapes your vision as well. In the valley, you can't see miles ahead, so you learn to focus on the next step. You learn how to trust the journey, even when the destination isn't visible. You learn to walk in faith, not certainty. You learn to move forward, even when your heart is still healing. And that kind of vision is stronger than any mountaintop perspective. Because it's forged in perseverance, the valley season may feel long, tiring, confusing, or even unbearable. What if the valley is the very place where your transformation is happening? What if the valley is not a detour, but the direct path to becoming the person you were meant to be? What if the valley is not the end of your story, but the foundation of your next elevation? Everything strong grows low before it grows high. Trees deepen their roots downward before they rise upward. Buildings require deep digging before they can stand tall. Seeds remain buried before they break open and reach the sunlight. The valley is not your burial ground, it is your growth ground. You will rise again. You will climb out of this place. You will reach new heights. But when you do, you will stand strong not because of the mountaintop, because of what you gained in the valley. Your strength will come from what you survived. Your wisdom will come from what you learned. Your humility will come from what you endured. Your power will come from what you overcame. The valley is hard, but it is holy. It is dark, but it is developing. It is low, but is lifting you. Everything you are becoming, the resilience, the clarity, the courage, the maturity, is being built right where you are. Pressure is one of the most misunderstood forces in life. Most people run from it, fear it, resent it, or beg for it to stop. Pressure is not your enemy. It is one of your greatest allies. Pressure has the power to bring out what comfort will never reveal. It has the ability to extract strength that ease will never demand. Pressure is the environment where greatness is formed, shaped, tested, and proven. Nothing extraordinary is produced without pressure. Diamonds are created under pressure. Gold is refined under heat. Strong muscles are built under resistance. Extraordinary leaders are forged in adversity. Powerful visions are born from struggle. Every great thing you admire carries a story of pressure behind it. Pressure is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to develop you. When pressure shows up in your life, it reveals what you're capable of. You never discover the depth of your resilience, the sharpness of your mind, or the strength of your spirit until life presses you beyond what feels comfortable. Pressure stretches you. It forces you to evolve. It pulls out abilities you didn't know you had. It awakens courage you didn't know was inside you. It sharpens focus, disciplines your choices, and strengthens your faith. Pressure is uncomfortable because it disrupts your normal patterns, interrupts your routine. It challenges your expectations. It pushes you out of what is familiar and demands that you function at a higher level. What feels uncomfortable is often what is necessary. Growth never happens in comfort. Growth happens when you are pushed, challenged, and stretched beyond your limits. Think about the moments in your life when you changed the most. They weren't moments of ease. They were moments when life pressed you, when hardship demanded a strength you didn't know you possessed. You became wiser because of pressure. You became stronger because of pressure. You became more disciplined because pressure forced you to be. You learned to think deeper, move wiser, plan carefully, and act boldly because pressure required you to rise. Pressure produces greatness because pressure removes the unnecessary. It strips away what is weak, temporary, or shallow, cuts off distractions, and forces you to prioritize what truly matters. When life applies pressure, things that don't belong in your next level fall away. People who were only connected to your comfort disappear. Habits that were draining your focus become exposed. Mindsets that were limiting your potential become unbearable. Pressure purifies your path. When pressure comes, it is a sign that you are being prepared for something greater. Life does not apply pressure to those who are meant to stay ordinary. Pressure is placed on those who have capacity, calling, and destiny. You are not being pressured because you are weak. You are being pressured because you are strong enough to carry what others cannot. You are being prepared for levels that require a stronger version of you. Pressure teaches you endurance. It teaches you how to keep going when everything around you says stop. It teaches you how to stay focused when you're overwhelmed, how to stay committed when you feel exhausted, how to keep believing when you have every reason to give up. Endurance is not learned in peaceful moments. It is learned when life pushes you to your limit and you decide to stand anyway. Pressure also teaches you clarity. When you are under pressure, you see your life differently. You learn what is essential. You learn what is worth fighting for. You learn what deserves your energy and what doesn't. Pressure forces you to reevaluate your priorities. It forces you to confront the truth about yourself, your habits, your fears, your excuses, your strengths, your weaknesses. Pressure exposes what needs to change, and then pressure transforms you. It turns potential into power. It transforms vision into reality. It turns dreams into discipline. It reshapes your character, redefines your mindset, and strengthens your identity. You emerge from pressure with a clearer sense of self, a deeper understanding of purpose, and a stronger foundation to stand on. Think of the caterpillar. Before it becomes a butterfly, it enters a cocoon where intense pressure transforms its entire existence. In the darkness of that tight space, everything inside it is being rearranged, rebuilt, and redefined. But without the pressure of that cocoon, it would never learn how to fly. Without struggle, it would never develop the strength needed to push out of the cocoon and rise. Your life works the same way. The pressure you are experiencing right now is not a sign that something is going wrong. It is evidence that something is being formed. Something is being refined. Something is being strengthened. You are being prepared to soar, but first, the pressure must build your wings. Pressure also builds gratitude. When you've been under pressure, you appreciate blessings more deeply. You value peace more sincerely. You treasure growth more genuinely. You no longer take opportunities for granted because you understand what it took to reach them. Pressure increases your appreciation for what comes next. Some of your greatest breakthroughs will come immediately after your greatest pressure. That's because pressure breaks what needs to be broken and opens what needs to be opened. Sometimes pressure is the final step before transformation unfolds. Sometimes pressure is the final push before the door opens. Sometimes pressure is the final stretch before the breakthrough arrives. You may look at certain seasons of your life and think, why was that so hard? But later, you'll realize those seasons shaped you in ways nothing else could. You'll realize that the pressure built your confidence, strengthened your discernment, sharpened your instincts, and deepened your capacity. You'll realize that the pressure prepared you for places you once prayed for. Pressure produces greatness because it forces ordinary people to rise into extraordinary purpose. It turns insecurity into confidence. It turns fear into courage. It turns uncertainty into wisdom. It turns weakness into strength. Every great person you admire has a story of pressure behind their greatness. You cannot skip the pressure and expect the greatness. So when you feel the weight of life pressing on you, don't assume you are being crushed. Assume you are being crafted. Assume you are being strengthened. Assume you are being upgraded. The pressure is not working against you. It is working for you. The pressure is shaping you, preparing you, positioning you for what you are destined to carry. Pain is one of the most misunderstood experiences in the human journey. Most people see pain as a punishment, an interruption, or a sign that life is working against them. But pain is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to develop you. Your pain is not random. It is not pointless. It is not without purpose. Your pain is designed very intentionally to reveal the strength you didn't even know was inside you. There is a depth to you that comfort will never show you. There is a power inside you that ease will never activate. There is a resilience in your spirit that peace alone cannot uncover. You only discover how strong you truly are when life presses on the parts of you that you never knew could endure. You only recognize the courage within you when fear surrounds you, and yet you somehow keep moving. You only understand the magnitude of your faith when everything around you tells you to give up, but something inside you refuses to quit. Pain has a way of awakening the parts of you that have been buried under routine, comfort, fear, or doubt. When everything is easy, you don't have to dig deep. You don't have to stretch your capacity. You don't have to challenge yourself. But when pain hits, suddenly your spirit starts searching for strength you didn't know existed. Pain forces you to pull strength from places you never had to access before. Pain reveals the hidden layers of power that were tucked inside you all along. It is in the painful seasons that your true strength begins to emerge. When you feel like you're breaking, but somehow you're still standing, that's strength. When life hits you with something unexpected and you're still breathing, still trying, still fighting, still hoping, still believing, that's strength. When you carry responsibilities that should have overwhelmed you, but you figured out how to keep going. That is not weakness. That is courage disguised in ordinary form. Pain reveals strength because pain exposes the truth about who you are. You may think you are fragile. You may think you are weak. You may think you are incapable of surviving what you're facing. But pain shows you that you are stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for. You didn't survive because you had everything figured out. You survive because there is a warrior inside you that rises when life gets hard. Some of the greatest strength inside you would have remained hidden if life had stayed comfortable. You would have never discovered how much you could handle. You would have never seen how much you are capable of enduring. You would have never learned how much wisdom, courage, depth, resilience, and faith you truly carry. Pain took the lid off your strength. Pain pulled the curtain back. Pain brought what was hidden to the surface. Every painful experience is showing you something about yourself. It is showing you that your spirit is tougher than your circumstances. It is showing you that your heart is more resilient than your wounds. It is showing you that your mind is sharper than your fears. It is showing you that your soul can rise even when your body feels weak. Pain pushes you into a version of yourself you could have never become in the absence of difficulty. Strength is not built in moments of applause, success, ease. Strength is built in the quiet, lonely, exhausting battles that nobody sees. Strength is built when you cry yourself to sleep, but wake up the next morning determined to try again. Strength is built when people walk away, but you learn how to stand on your own feet. Strength is built when you lose something valuable, but discover you still have the courage to move forward. Strength is built in the moments that feel impossible. You somehow make it through anyway. Your pain is designed to reveal the warrior inside you, not the version of you that other people see, not the version of you that fits into expectations, not the version of you that pretends everything is fine, the version of you that knows how to survive storms, recover from breaking points, rise out of dark seasons, and rebuild after everything falls apart. Pain reveals strength because pain teaches you what you can live without. It teaches you what truly matters. It teaches you who truly cares. It teaches you how to let go, how to move forward, how to heal, how to forgive, how to trust again, and how to rebuild your identity from the inside out. Pain cleanses you. It removes the parts of your life that were holding you back and exposes the power you didn't realize you possessed. There are strengths inside you that you have not discovered yet because life has not required them. When life pushes you into places you weren't prepared for, you begin to realize how capable you truly are. You learn how creative you can be in crisis. You learn how resourceful you can be under pressure. You learn how brave your decisions can become when fear is trying to paralyze you. You learn how deeply you can love even when your heart is hurting. You learn how disciplined you can be even when you feel weak. Pain takes you deeper into yourself. It shows you the strength beneath your fears, the power beneath your doubts, the courage beneath your insecurities. Reveals the parts of you that were hidden behind your own self-limiting beliefs. Pain shows you that you are more than your circumstances, more than your wounds, more than what you lost, and more than what you fear. Somewhere inside you is a strength that has been waiting for the right moment to rise, and pain, though uncomfortable, though unwelcome, though painful, is the catalyst that wakes that strength up. Your pain is not meaningless. It is purposeful. It is intentional. It is designed to activate the greatness that was asleep inside you. One day, you will look back and realize that the strength you carry now was born in the moments that tried to break you. You will realize that the power you walk in today was shaped by the tears you cried yesterday. You will see that your resilience did not come from easy days. It came from painful nights. Your confidence didn't grow in seasons of certainty. It grew in seasons of confusion. Your courage wasn't built when life felt safe. It was built when life felt shaky. Every painful experience you have ever faced, every heartbreak, every loss, every disappointment, every betrayal, every failure carries a lesson. It may not feel like it in the moment. In fact, pain often blinds you before it teaches you. It confuses you before it clarifies you. It breaks you before it builds you. But with time, reflection, and healing, The lesson always comes. Pain is life's most honest teacher, and its teachings are written in the language of experience. There's something profound about pain. Interrupts your plans, disrupts your peace, and shakes the parts of your world you thought were stable. But pain never comes without a purpose. Pain always has something to show you. It reveals truths you ignored, strengths you overlooked, weaknesses you must confront, and directions you never considered. Pain has a way of pulling back the curtain on your life and giving you a clearer view of who you are, where you stand, and what needs to change. Some lessons can only be learned through discomfort. You don't learn resilience when everything is easy. You don't learn patience when everything arrives on your timeline. You don't learn discernment when everyone treats you well. You don't learn boundaries when people respect them automatically. You don't learn gratitude when blessings come without struggle. Pain introduces you to lessons that comfort will never teach you. Every painful experience carries a lesson because pain forces you to pay attention. When something hurts deeply, your mind searches for meaning. Your heart searches for healing. Your spirit searches for growth. Pain awakens questions you never asked and reveals answers you never expected. You begin to see the world differently, think differently, feel differently. The very thing that wounded you becomes the catalyst for your evolution. Pain teaches you about people. Some people only stay as long as things are easy. Some only love you when they can benefit. Some only cheer when you're shining. But when pain enters your life, masks fall. Motives are exposed. True hearts reveal themselves. Pain shows you who deserves access and who never should have had it. The lesson may hurt, but it protects you for the future. Pain teaches you about yourself. You learn what triggers you, what strengthens you, what weakens you, what inspires you, and what drains you. You discover fears you've been avoiding, wounds you never addressed, patterns you kept repeating, and habits that no longer serve you. Pain is a mirror. It reflects your inner world, both the broken parts and the beautiful ones. Pain teaches you about purpose. Sometimes painful experiences turn out to be redirections. What you thought was a loss was actually a rescue. What you thought was rejection was realignment. What you thought was failure was preparation. Pain has a mysterious way of pushing you toward the life you were meant to live, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Pain teaches you strength. There are things you survived that you never thought you could endure. There were nights you cried yourself to sleep but woke up anyway. There were days you felt depleted but still kept going. There were moments your heart felt shattered but somehow you held yourself together. Pain revealed that you are stronger than you believed, braver than you imagined, and more resilient than you understood. Pain teaches you gratitude. After suffering, you cherish peace differently. You value joy more deeply. You appreciate people more sincerely. You celebrate progress more humbly. Pain sharpens your awareness of the blessings you once overlooked. What used to feel ordinary begins to feel priceless. The simple things become sacred. Pain teaches you humility. It reminds you that life is unpredictable, that control is an illusion, and that strength does not mean immunity. Pain keeps you grounded. It keeps you compassionate. It keeps you aware that everyone is fighting something, whether you can see it or not. Pain tenderizes the heart. Pain teaches you boundaries. When someone wounds you deeply, you learn the importance of protecting your space, your energy, and your emotions. You learn not to give too much to people who give too little. You learn that loyalty to others should never come at the cost of abandoning yourself. Pain might teach you who broke you, but it also teaches you how to prevent it from happening again. Pain teaches you healing. Healing is not fast, not easy, pretty. It's messy. It's nonlinear. It requires honesty, courage, patience, and self-compassion. But through the process, you learn how to let go of what cannot stay, how to forgive what you cannot change, how to rebuild what was lost, how to find peace in places that once held pain. Pain teaches you faith. When you cannot see the way forward, when you don't have answers, when your heart is tired and your mind is overwhelmed, you learn how to trust the process. You learn how to believe even when the evidence is missing. You learn how to walk through darkness with confidence that light still exists. Pain builds a faith that comfort never will. Pain teaches you transformation. You are not the same person you were before your painful experience, and you're not supposed to be. Pain evolves you. It matures you. It deepens you. It expands your emotional capacity and your perspective. You begin to love differently, think differently, live differently. Pain shapes you into a wiser, stronger, more purposeful version of yourself. When you finally understand the lesson behind your pain, the pain begins to lose its power, stops controlling you, it stops defining you. It stops haunting you. The lesson becomes the gift. The lesson becomes the blessing. The lesson becomes the strength you carry into your future. One day you will look back at the moments that hurt the most and realize they taught you the most. You will see how each painful chapter was preparing you for a better one. You will recognize that nothing was wasted. Not even the tears, not even the heartbreak, not even the disappointment. Every painful experience was shaping you for something greater. There comes a point in every person's journey where the weight becomes so heavy, the night becomes so long, the road becomes so uncertain that you question whether you have anything left inside of you to continue. You question your strength, your purpose, your progress, and sometimes even your worth. Life has a way of pressing on you until you feel like your back is against the wall and your strength is evaporating. But here is the truth you must never forget. The fact that you are still standing, still breathing, still fighting, still hoping, still searching, still praying, still trying, even with trembling hands and tired bones, is the evidence that something powerful lives inside you. Endurance is not a small thing. It is not weakness. It is not accidental. It is the clearest sign that you have an inner power so deep, so rooted, and so unshakable that even life's darkest storms could not take it from you. Endurance is not loud. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes endurance is simply saying, I'll try again tomorrow. Sometimes it's holding on by a single thread, but refusing to let that thread break. It is waking up after a night of tears and deciding to keep moving even when you don't know how. It is walking forward when you don't see the path clearly. It is choosing not to give up on yourself when everything inside you says you should. That kind of quiet persistence only comes from an inner strength that many people do not even recognize in themselves. But whether you see it or not, it is there, working beneath the surface. What you've survived didn't break you. It revealed you. It uncovered the part of you that you didn't even know existed. Endurance is proof that there is something in you that refuses to die, something that refuses to surrender, something that refuses to let life defeat you. You may not have won every battle. You may not have succeeded every time. You may not have come out unscared. But you came out. You pushed through. You survived things that should have destroyed you. And your survival alone is a testament to your inner power. People often think power is loud, bold, and dramatic. They think it looks like confidence, victory, applause, strength, and triumph. But real power, the kind that defines the soul, is often quiet. Looks like patience. It looks like long nights of wrestling with yourself. It looks like choosing hope when fear feels more comfortable. It looks like putting one foot in front of the other, even when you feel like collapsing. It looks like refusing to let bitterness consume you, even when you are hurt deeply. That is endurance, and that is power. There is something extraordinary about the human spirit's ability to endure what it should never have had to face. You didn't choose the heartbreak. You didn't ask for the disappointment. You didn't sign up for the betrayal, the loss, the struggle, or the loneliness. And yet, somehow, you found strength in places you didn't know existed. You discovered that you could withstand more than you imagined. Every time you kept going when quitting seemed easier, you were proving to yourself and to the world that there is a warrior inside you. Endurance shapes you in ways comfort never can. Comfort may give you rest, but endurance gives you resilience. Comfort may make life easy. Endurance makes life meaningful. It teaches you that you do not break easily. It teaches you that you can survive storms, setbacks, and seasons of uncertainty. It teaches you that you are stronger, wiser, deeper, and more capable than you ever believed. And the remarkable thing is, endurance doesn't just carry you through difficult seasons. It transforms you because of them. Every struggle you faced forced you to grow. Every setback taught you something. Every closed door redirected you. Every delay built patience. Every tear watered your strength. And every moment you thought was the end of you was actually building the endurance that is now becoming your evidence of inner power. Life wasn't punishing you, it was preparing you. Preparing you to walk with a strength that comes from knowing you have already survived what you once thought would break you. Endurance also teaches gratitude. When you come out of a dark place and breathe freely again, you appreciate the light in ways others cannot. When you have walked through long seasons of waiting, you appreciate breakthrough with a deeper joy. When you have carried heavy burdens, even small blessings feel like miracles. Endurance softens your heart while strengthening your spirit. It humbles you while empowering you. It teaches you compassion, patience, empathy, and perspective. It makes you someone who is not easily shaken because you know exactly what it took for you to get here. And through it all, your endurance becomes your testimony. It becomes the story you carry, the proof that you did not fold, that you did not quit, that you did not surrender your future to the weight of your past. Others may never know the full depth of what you've endured. They may never understand the silent battles, the private tears, the moments you almost lost yourself. But you know. And that knowledge becomes strength. Knowledge becomes confidence. That knowledge becomes power. Endurance is not about speed or perfection. It's about consistency. It's about staying in the fight even when you're tired. It's about progressing slowly but surely. It's about refusing to let the darkness convince you that there is no light. Your endurance is the evidence that you are not defined by what tried to break you. You are defined by what you overcame. The fact that you're still here means your story is not finished. Your endurance proves that you have more chapters to write, more victories ahead, more growth, more transformation, and more purpose to live out. You didn't come this far just to give up now. You came this far because there is something powerful inside you pushing you forward, calling you higher, urging you to keep believing in the future that is still unfolding. Endurance is the quiet voice inside you saying, I can get through this. It's the strength that rises when everything else falls apart. It's the inner knowing that even though the journey has been hard, you are becoming stronger because of it. Your endurance is not accidental. It is intentional. It is the clearest, strongest evidence of the inner power that has been guiding you, shaping you, and carrying you all along. There are moments in life when you feel shattered. Pieces of your world seem to have fallen apart, and there is nothing left that feels whole. When your heart aches so deeply, when your dreams lie in ruins, when the weight of disappointment, failure, or betrayal seems unbearable, these are the moments that feel like the end. They feel like they are designed to stop you, to break you permanently, to leave you powerless. And yet, the paradox of life is this: brokenness is not the end of your story. Brokenness is the beginning of something greater. Brokenness can build you. When you are broken, the world exposes you. It strips away pretenses, illusions, and false securities. It removes everything that was superficial and unnecessary. It reveals what is essential: your spirit, your character, your resilience, and your capacity to rise. Brokenness has a way of teaching you lessons that comfort never could. It forces you to confront the raw, honest truth about yourself. It challenges you to rebuild from the ground up. It compels you to grow in ways that you may have avoided if life had remained easy. Some of the strongest people you know were once broken. Some of the wisest, most compassionate souls were shaped in the fires of brokenness. Brokenness teaches humility because it reminds you that you are human. It teaches empathy because it allows you to feel deeply the struggles of others. It teaches courage because every day you wake up and keep going despite feeling fragmented is a demonstration of bravery. Brokenness builds strength, not the kind that comes from comfort, approval, or success, but the kind that comes from surviving when survival felt impossible. Beauty of brokenness is that it forces you to find your own inner resources. When life breaks you, you realize that you cannot rely on external circumstances to carry you. You cannot depend on other people to solve your problems or fix your wounds. You learn that the power to heal, rebuild, and transform lies within you. And that discovery, realizing that strength, courage, wisdom live inside, is the most profound gift that brokenness can give. Brokenness also teaches perspective. When you have hit rock bottom, everything else becomes clearer. What matters becomes obvious. What doesn't matter falls away. You understand what is truly valuable: relationships built on authenticity, actions rooted in love, goals that align with purpose, moments that nourish the soul. Brokenness has a way of opening your eyes to life in a way that ease never could. It brings clarity to your path, and though the clarity is often born from pain, it becomes a guiding light that leads you forward. It is important to understand that brokenness is not wasted. Every tear, every heartbreak, every failure, every disappointment is forming you. Each shattered piece is a part of the foundation upon which your future strength is built. You may not see it at the moment. It may feel unbearable, unfair, endless. But the truth is, brokenness is not permanent unless you allow it to be. If you choose to lean into it, learn from it, and allow it to refine you, brokenness becomes a catalyst for growth. Brokenness develops resilience. You learn that you can survive what you never thought you could. You learn that your heart can continue beating even when it feels like it's been crushed. You learn that you can rise again step by step, even when the path ahead seems unclear. Resilience is not created in moments of comfort. It is forged in moments of adversity. Brokenness is the fire that tempers your soul and strengthens your will. Brokenness builds character. It teaches patience, humility, and perseverance. It teaches you how to take responsibility for your life, how to forgive when forgiveness feels impossible, and how to trust when trust seems foolish. It forces you to confront your weaknesses and transform them into strengths. Every crack, every scar, every broken piece is an opportunity to rebuild yourself into a more authentic, more grounded, more powerful version of who you were always meant to be. Brokenness also builds empathy and compassion. When you have been broken, you understand the pain of others on a level that is deeper than surface sympathy. You are able to extend grace, kindness, and understanding in ways you could not have before. Your own suffering becomes the bridge that connects you to other human beings. Your brokenness becomes a tool not just for personal growth, for uplifting others. It allows you to walk alongside people in their pain with authenticity and genuine support. The process of rebuilding after brokenness is transformative. You cannot put the pieces back together exactly as they were. They will never fit the same way. That is the point. Brokenness reshapes you. It forces you to evolve. It allows you to see yourself differently, to redefine your goals, to realign your values. What you become after brokenness is not just someone who survived. It is someone who has been forged into a stronger, wiser, capable version of themselves. You are rebuilt not despite your brokenness, but because of it. Brokenness also teaches gratitude. When you have lost, failed, or been deeply hurt, the smallest moments of peace, joy, and triumph feel extraordinary. Every victory, every blessing, every act of love becomes more meaningful. You learn to appreciate the journey as much as the destination and to value growth over perfection. Brokenness gives context to your blessings and depth to your victories. It transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences. The most powerful lesson of brokenness is that it is never permanent unless you choose to stay in it. Life may break you, but it also gives you the tools to heal. Life may challenge you, but it also provides opportunities for transformation. Life may bring storms, but it also brings strength. Brokenness is a season, not a sentence. It is a teacher, not a jailer. And if you embrace it, learn from it, and rise from it, brokenness will become one of the most powerful catalysts in your life. In the end, brokenness is not a sign of weakness. It is evidence of growth and progress. Every broken piece is a foundation. Every scar is a reminder of survival. Every tear is a seed that, when nurtured, will grow into strength, resilience, and wisdom. Your brokenness can build you into someone capable of greatness, someone capable of compassion, someone capable of achieving what you once thought impossible. Pain is one of the most misunderstood experiences of life. Most people see it as a curse, a burden, signal that something has gone wrong. They try to avoid it, numb it, or deny it. Yet the truth is far more profound. Pain is not an end, it is a beginning. Pain is a seed, and like every seed, it carries within it the potential for growth, transformation, and life that you cannot yet see. A seed begins small, often unnoticed. It is buried in the darkness of the soil, hidden from view, pressed down by weight, confined by limits it has never encountered before. Yet inside that tiny seed is the blueprint for a tree, a flower, or a plant that will one day reach heights it could not yet imagine. Pain functions in exactly the same way. When it enters your life, it can feel heavy, suffocating, and impossible to endure. It can feel as though it will crush you, as though it will bury you permanently. But like a seed in the earth, pain is actually planting the very potential for your next season of life. Every painful experience you face is fertile ground. It is the soil in which new strength, resilience, and wisdom can take root. Without the pressure, without the struggle, without the challenges, seed cannot grow. The darkness, the weight, the discomfort, it all serves a purpose. It forces the seed to awaken, to push, to stretch, to break open. You may not understand it in the moment. You may feel lost, confused, or overwhelmed. But if you allow it, your pain will germinate, pushing you toward the life you were meant to live. Pain as a seed also carries potential for transformation. A seed does not become a tree overnight. It takes time, nurturing, and the right conditions. It must be patient. It must endure storms, heavy rains, and harsh winds. And in the same way, your pain is shaping you over time. Every heartbreak, every failure, every betrayal, every loss, and every disappointment is watering the seed inside you. Every tear, every difficult decision, every moment you refuse to give up, and every struggle you endure is helping that seed grow roots. The roots may be invisible at first, but they are anchoring you, giving you stability, preparing you for the growth that is coming. Pain teaches you lessons that comfort never could. Comfort nurtures, yes, but it rarely stretches you. Pain forces you to confront reality. It challenges you to examine yourself, to dig deeper, to find strength you never knew existed. It shows you who you are when no one is watching, when nothing is easy, and when you are at your lowest. The seed of pain pushes you to grow roots in resilience, courage, patience, and faith. These are qualities that cannot be taught in calm, easy seasons. They are born in the soil of struggle. Like a seed, pain also requires trust. A seed cannot see the tree it will become. It cannot imagine the branches, the leaves, or the fruit. It only knows to push, to grow, to survive. Similarly, when you are in pain, you often cannot see how your life will be restored, how the heartbreak will be healed, or how the loss will transform into gain. You are being formed moment by moment. The push you feel, the discomfort, the uncertainty, they are all part of the process. The seed knows what it will become, even when you do not. The potential within the seed of pain is enormous. It can grow into strength, wisdom, compassion, purpose. It can transform fear into courage, weakness into resilience, and loss into opportunity. Every person who has achieved greatness, overcome adversity, experienced profound transformation has a story that began with a painful seed. Their pain was not wasted. Their struggle was not meaningless. Their challenges were not random. The seed of pain, when nurtured with faith, patience, and perseverance, produces life beyond imagination. Pain also builds character in ways that nothing else can. When a seed grows, it must push through the soil. It must break a shell. It must endure resistance. Your character is built the same way. Your patience is formed under pressure. Your humility is developed through trials. Your empathy emerges when you have suffered and yet still have compassion for others. The seed of pain forces you to become more than you were. It transforms you from someone who merely survives to someone who thrives, from someone who fears the future to someone who shapes it. A seed takes time to grow, and so does the fruit of pain. There are moments when you may feel that nothing is happening, that your struggle is pointless, that growth is impossible. The roots are growing beneath the surface. The process is underway. You may not feel stronger, wiser, or more capable immediately, but every step, every tear, every effort contributes to the growth that is happening inside you. One day, you will look back and realize that the season of pain was the season of preparation, that the struggles you endured produced something beautiful, powerful, unshakable. Pain as a seed also teaches resilience. A seed can withstand storms, droughts, and shifting seasons. It bends without breaking. It stretches toward the light, and it continues to grow despite obstacles. Your pain does the same. When you persevere through hardship, when you continue to hope despite uncertainty, when you rise after failure, when you forgive despite betrayal, you are growing stronger. The seed within you is breaking open, sending out roots, and preparing to produce a harvest of power, insight, and purpose. Pain carries a hidden promise. It promises that growth is possible even when life seems unfair. It promises that life is not over even when your world feels broken. Promises that strength can emerge from weakness, that light can shine through darkness, and that victory can rise from struggle. The seed of pain holds within it the very future you long for, but it requires patience, faith, and the willingness to endure until the harvest comes. When you begin to see your pain as a seed, your perspective changes. You stop seeing suffering as punishment. You stop resenting difficulty. You stop fearing struggle. Instead, you start to recognize opportunity. You start to see the potential for growth, transformation, and new beginnings. You understand that pain is not your enemy. It is the first step toward your becoming your breakthrough and your fulfillment. Every tear you shed, every moment you endure, every challenge you face, and every heartbreak you survive is watering the seed. Every choice you make to keep moving, to keep believing, to keep growing is sunlight to that seed. And eventually, if you nurture it with patience, faith, and perseverance, will grow into something you could never have imagined. Pain is not a dead end. It is a beginning, a spark, a seed of life that carries within it the power to transform your entire existence. It may feel dark and heavy now. It may feel unbearable. It may feel like it will crush you. But inside that pain lies the blueprint for your growth, your strength, your transformation, and your future. Nurture it, endure it, and trust it, and it will bloom into the life you were always meant to live. There are moments in life that feel unbearable. Moments when the weight of the world presses down on you so heavily that you can barely breathe. Moments when every plan, every hope, every expectation seems to crumble in your hands. Moments when the pain is so deep that giving up feels like the only option. And yet, it is precisely in these moments that the greatest truth emerges. Your power does not come from comfort, ease, or success. Your power emerges from what you survived. Every scar, every setback, every heartbreak, every failure, every storm. These are the foundations of your strength, evidence of your resilience, and the proof of the greatness that resides within you. Survival is more than existing. Survival is moving forward when every part of you wants to stop. Survival is standing tall when the circumstances around you are designed to knock you down. Survival is refusing to let fear, doubt, or pain define your identity. And the power that comes from surviving is profound because it is not hypothetical. It is not imagined. It is real. It is tangible. It is built into your very bones and soul, forged in the fires of adversity and tempered by endurance. When you reflect on what you have survived, you begin to see the depth of your own strength. You begin to understand that the struggles you once thought would destroy you actually defined you. Every sleepless night, every tearful moment, every disappointment, every challenge, every time you felt broken, these were not signs of weakness. They were signs of preparation. They were moments in which your power was quietly being forged. And now, as you stand on the other side of those struggles, you can feel it rising within you. Quiet, unshakable strength that could not have existed without the trials you endured. The truth is that power is not always visible in the moment. It is often hidden beneath pain, fear, and uncertainty. You may not realize it while you are going through a difficult season, but every step you take, every decision you make, every choice to keep going builds an inner fortitude that cannot be taken away. The power you now carry was shaped by adversity. It was formed in the moments when giving up would have been easier, but you chose to continue. Every battle you faced, whether won or lost, contributed to the strength you now embody. Your power also emerges from survival because surviving teaches wisdom. When life breaks you, you're forced to reflect, to grow, and to learn. You learn which battles are worth fighting and which are not. You learn the value of patience, perseverance, and discernment. You learn to read people, circumstances, and opportunities with a clarity that comfort could never teach. Survival grants you insight. Survival grants you perspective. And with that perspective comes a power that can navigate life with confidence, courage, and grace. Another truth is that survival reveals courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite fear. Every time you survived what seemed insurmountable, you practiced courage. Every time you continued despite doubt, rejection, or failure, you discovered the bravery within you. Courage is a muscle, and survival is its training ground. The more you survive, the stronger your courage becomes. The more you endure, the more fearless you grow. And the power of courage quietly forged through survival becomes a defining force in your life. Survival also reveals resilience. Life may have knocked you down countless times, but each time you rose again, you demonstrated that your spirit cannot be defeated. You may have been bruised, battered, or wounded. Your ability to continue proves that resilience lives inside you. Resilience is not built in comfort. It is built in hardship. It is built in pain. It is built in moments when everything seems lost, but you find the strength to rise again. And every time you rise, you become stronger, wiser, capable than you were before. Your power emerges from survival because survival proves that you are adaptable. You learn how to navigate storms, how to adjust your plans, how to respond to challenges with creativity and determination. You learn how to turn setbacks into opportunities, pain into lessons, failures into stepping stones. The very act of surviving transforms you into someone capable of handling circumstances you once thought were impossible. Your power lies in the ability to bend without breaking, to pivot without surrendering, and to keep moving forward when everything feels uncertain. Importantly, power you gain from surviving is unique to you. No one else can claim it. No one else can walk in your footsteps, experience your battles, or endure your trials in the way that you did. Your survival is your story, and the power it generates is personal, incomparable, deeply rooted in your identity. Every challenge you faced, every fear you overcame, every loss you endured contributes to a strength that is entirely yours, a strength that nobody can take from you, diminish, or replicate. Survival also cultivates gratitude and perspective. When you have faced what you thought would break you, every small victory, every blessing, every moment of joy carries deeper meaning. The power you have now is not just physical, emotional, or mental, it is spiritual. It is the knowledge that you have endured, that you have overcome, and that you have risen from circumstances that could have defeated anyone else. Awareness transforms the way you live, the way you lead, and the way you impact others. The power of survival is transformative. It shapes your character, strengthens your resolve, and deepens your empathy. It allows you to walk through life with confidence, knowing that no matter what comes, you have already survived the impossible. It allows you to inspire others because people see the evidence of your strength and are encouraged by your journey. Your survival is both a personal victory and a testament to the unshakable human spirit. Your power is not measured by what life has given you, but by what you have endured. Your power is not defined by comfort or success, but by your ability to rise after falling. Your power is not granted by circumstances, but by the courage, resilience, and wisdom you gained from surviving them. Everything you survived, the pain, the loss, the disappointment, the struggle, was preparing you to carry this power to step into your destiny and to live a life that reflects your strength, purpose, and perseverance. Every scar, every struggle, every tear, every setback, every night you thought you couldn't go on, they were all planting the seeds of your power. Your power emerges from survival. It is your proof, your testimony, your evidence that no matter what life throws at you, you are not defeated. You are not weak. You are not finished. You are rising. You are stronger than you ever knew. You are powerful because you survived, and everything that you survived has made you unstoppable.